Welcome, guys, to our first podcast. This is the one that I promised a little while ago. We're going to ignore the fact that I don't have a name. Well, that was a completely shite intro to get everything going.
Oh, damn. No, yeah, dude, that was terrible. You should, really plan things out at some point.
Yeah.
We spent a good 15-20 minutes trying to come up with a name for this podcast that you've been thinking of for a month.
I wasn't thinking consistently for a month, at least maybe...
I took some breaks.
It's okay, if I'm that embarrassed, I'll just edit this out in post.
Okay.
Di, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you, man?
I'm trying to captain this already sinking ship. Di, tell us about your channel.
Alright, so I release weekly animations on my channel that's basically anime parodies and video games. So if you have a funny bone and you like me just making fun of weird anime bullshit, then you might like my channel.
He's underselling it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think my favorite animation I've ever seen from you is a guy essentially was watching a video and then the hot chick turned out to be a guy and he pulls out a gun and he threatens to shoot his dick for getting a boner.
Oh, you must be talking about the Fat Tony falls for a trap video.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, that one was my favorite as well.
I love
Even
that.
spawned a sequel that everyone doesn't like.
Fuck him. So we also have Shinjin.
Yeah, I'm the guy who was talking who was talking now. No, I'm just here mumbling to myself, apparently.
Why don't we just have a long pause just to make him
Yeah.
feel odd?
Just everybody's dead quiet and shit, like the call dropped, and it's just me.
Someone coughs in the background. Why don't you tell us about your channel?
Well, I am Shintougenesis. I run a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Shintougenesis, where I do anime reviews, comparisons, I do some parody stuff, things of that nature, have like blooper reels, behind the scenes stuff, a lot of that kind of stuff, pretty high quality, high production value stuff, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, but I think it goes pretty well. I'm pretty proud of it, and I think anybody who's in anime would really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I actually watched your Ergo Proxy review and I found it very informative. In fact, I'm still baffled by the amount of dislikes for that video.
Yeah, it's YouTube. You're gonna get some dislikes, but I do
Yeah.
appreciate it, though. I appreciate the love, man.
No problem. In fact, I have to, after this podcast, I have to watch Ergo Proxy because of your review. So.
Oh, I'm glad I could bring you to it. It's really good. I think anybody who enjoys that kind of like Matrix feel, that kind of Matrix Dark City, Blade Runner kind of thing, you'll probably be into Ergo Proxy. So I recommend it. I think it's a good watch.
Yep. And just to make sure, Matrix 1, not Matrix 2 or 3.
The only Matrix ever made.
Yeah, exactly.
there was
those
no
other
two.
films don't exist. I'm
Exactly.
glad someone agrees that those films don't exist and were never made.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just never been made.
Yep. No we can do about it. All right. So, Gax, what about you, man? I mean, I know what your channel is about. I like, all the industry stuff that you talk about and how you have your like little anime guy. But I mean, there's probably people coming from me and Dice channels that don't know what this channel is about. So aside from the podcast, you want to explain a little bit about what you do?
Nah, not really. You should just click around and give me some more likes.
I actually agree with that. It's not just because I'm on the podcast, but because your content's actually really good. You talk about the industry, you talk about anime reviews, and it's all very high quality. And you have like your little animated character and your voice lends really well too. It's really, really high production value, especially for a channel that has so few subscribers. You deserve so much more, to be legitimately honest.
You get a gold star, and you are now my favorite contributor on the podcast.
And of course, I always enjoy your fuck Gynex section because, let's face it, they're going to hell these days.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they've long gone to hell. That was
yeah.
about 2010.
Yeah.
Gynex releases so many strange Evangelion products that I have a huge back catalog of videos of me just being particularly pissed at the stupidest thing they've released. My favorite thing, the thing I'm trying to track down for myself to prove to myself it exists, the Evangelion male girdle.
Oh.
The Myrtle.
The Myrtle.
Yeah.
You too can be sad and fat.
I'm still shocked that they have Evangelion condoms.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
thing.
I mean, Shinji had to put his jizz somewhere. Because no
thought
one
it
was
was
letting him
over
put it in
Asuka.
them. No, you didn't actually get any on her. It was all in his hand.
Spoilers, Shinji jacks it over an unconscious girl in one of the movies.
Yup. That's... Whew. So what's the next thing that we're going to talk about here?
Oh, I was just gonna run with that.
We're just gonna talk about that for an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly. The dynamics, how long it took.
Ugh.
Dai, why don't you tell me what's coming up on your channel?
All right, so I'm not. So next week, I hope to release the Fuck Konami collab, which
Yeah, hashtag fuck Konami.
Yep, in which a bunch of source filmmakers and I are actually getting together to animate short sections in which we basically poke fun of how Konami fucked over Kojima, their staff, PT, etc.
Nice.
So if you're salty like I am about Konami, then you might want to take a look.
I'm beyond salty about that shit. I am seafood. That pissed me off real bad.
You feel it too, don't you?
I mean, it's so baffling. Like, what is there? I want to meet the guy who's behind their PR.
I want to meet the director. I mean, there has to be something going on between him and Kojima for that type of shit to happen. I mean, they barred him from going to the Game Awards.
Yep.
There has to be something going on there.
They did that. They canceled PT. They announced that they didn't fire Kojima. He was just on vacation. So
No, it's ridiculous. It's a bunch of their PR is fucking ridiculous. What happened with Kojima is ridiculous. They're running it into the ground. Like everybody knows it. Nobody respects them anymore. They lost all respect they had.
Yeah. But at least Kojima's getting a game company out of it.
Damn right.
yeah, I mean, he probably could have just left them a while ago, but
Mm-hmm.
But he had to finish MGS5 and finish all the content in MGS5, including at Mission 51.
yes, we did have to find out that the character does breathe through her skin, and you know, that's the reason why she's not wearing any clothes.
Of course.
Don't question his artistic vision. He's brilliant. Shinjin, what's coming up in your channel?
More reviews. If you watch my Ergo Parks review, you would see a spoiler at the end. There, a little Easter egg teaser that's kind of revealing my new review, which is going to be Steins Gate. And I'm doing some collaborative projects, particularly, obviously, on this channel. I have a podcast going over on Freezax's channel, which you should check out. I did a collaborative review of Full Metal Panic Famufu over on JC Green the Reviewer's channel. And I have some other collaborative content, some comparisons and parody stuff coming out within the next month or two on my channel. So new style of content, and be on the lookout for that.
You've been a busy boy. A
Very
busy
busy.
boy.
Yes, indeed.
That was like my first thought when I saw your podcast come up. I was like, oh shit. Well, I guess ours went really bad when we went testing.
No, I had a buddy who wanted to do a like kind of a one-on-one podcast where he and I just talk about whatever we wanted to. So it's a very different format in comparison to this, where we're primarily talking about anime and stuff like that. I have other interests outside of anime, and I wanted to expand on that, and I wanted to be able to kind of talk to my buddy in a public forum setting, and that's kind of where that came from. And that's a bi-weekly podcast.
Blasphemy. You can't have interests outside of anime.
How dare you? You're not a true otaku.
Yes! How many body pillows do you even have?
Exactly. If your bed is not one giant body pillow, you are not otaku.
God damn it, I knew I should have interviewed you guys closely.
What were you saying, Dai?
Nothing. I wasn't saying anything about me looking at my Lucina body pillow right now. I wasn't saying anything like that.
Oh, God. Minus
You-
20 respect.
Nah, I don't have any body pillows.
I mean, I have my desk completely covered in anime toys. There's lots of One Piece and Digimon. I have a Devilman toy. Why the fuck do I have a Devilman toy? Shit, I just broke my Devilman toy.
True.
But
Aw.
I don't own any body pillows. Yet.
No,
I'm gonna edit out that yet.
There you go. There you go. Man, like, I have so much I could say about that, but I'm not trying to offend your demographic here. If indeed anybody out there does own a body pillow, I'm sure you're a perfectly well socially adjusted person who's totally had sex. Yeah. Next thing, what were we gonna talk about?
Fuck it. After that, I'm going on Amazon getting a body pillow.
Oh, God. Oh, it was good being on the podcast, guys.
One Piece, Robin.
All right, so what's the next thing we're going
Body.
to talk about? We've done the updates here. We introduced each other. Let's stay on the rails.
But there's so many Robin body pillows.
Oh,
Apple
God.
read.
Why don't we talk about what we're watching?
Oh, okay, that's
what
right.
shows I'm watching now?
Yeah, what are you watching currently, Dai?
Well, I finished watching Himoto Imaru-chan. God, I hate that hamster girl. After I finished watching that fucking anime, I asked one of my friends who poured Miku Miku dance models
Mhm.
to port the Imaru-chan model from there to SFM because I have a brilliant idea how to make fun of that anime. Because, God, I hate that hamster girl.
Excellent.
I've been seeing a lot of gifs for that show, but I've not braved a single episode of it.
Yeah, nor have I.
You're lucky.
He sounded like vaguely like lower New York Italian. You lucky. Like,
Well, I was born in Queens, so
Oh, really?
there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
The more you know.
But yeah, I finished watching Amuro-chan. I'm thinking about either watching Ergo Proxy because of Shinto's review or catching up on Hyperdimension Neptuna because I'm doing a live stream of the game on my Twitch channel every Saturday morning from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
So
I can attest. I've been in your live stream. It's pretty awesome.
yeah, it gets pretty crazy at times with the chat, but I'm happy for it.
No, yeah, it's very entertaining. You're a very entertaining person, especially during your live streams, because I mean, in your content, we get to see like kind of the thoughts and how the wheels are turning and the things that you come up with, but we don't get to see your personality. So I really like kind of being able to go over to the stream and kind of learn more about who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Dude, it's awesome content. I wouldn't watch it if it wasn't. Like, legitimately,
Thanks.
I would just be like, yeah, dude, your stuff exists. Like, but I like it, so.
Nice,
And
nice.
Shinjin, what have you been checking out this season?
Oh, this season, nothing. I don't watch seasonal anime because I ain't got the time for that shit. But I am, however, trying to finish All Know Is Zero because it was recommended to me. It's had a good start, but I'm not feeling it later on. Buddy lent me Van Dread because he wanted me to watch that. Same kind. It seems okay. Yeah, it's got too much fan service. Not a huge fan of that. And of course, I'm rewatching Steins Gate for that review and a couple of other things that I can't mention at the moment, and I'm finishing my run through of the Ghost Stories English dub.
Oh man, that has to be the best English dub on the same level as Cowboy Bebop.
On the same level as there's actually
Whoa!
It's because it's fun. It's because they managed to tweak a god awful anime and turn it into a comedic masterpiece.
They did.
That's why it's so good.
Interestingly enough, in an old podcast I was in, we used to do a thing called Anime Royale where we would have like a debate about anime, and one of them was what was the best English dub. Two of the things that made the mark that people were arguing was one was Cowboy Bebop, the other was Ghost Stories. So it's kind of funny that you bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Cowboy Bebop is an anime masterpiece. In fact, I have yet to watch a Japanese version of Cowboy Bebop, but
Because there's no need.
exactly, there's no need.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Bloom did a fantastic job voicing Spike, and I honestly can't imagine anyone else voicing him. He is Spike.
Yeah, he is a lot of people in my mind. He's Akichi Onizuka, he's Spike, he's Wolverine. Man's got insane range, insane talent. He's phenomenal. Everybody, honestly, in Cowboy Bebop. God, who played Faye? I can't remember. Her name starts with a
I can't
W.
remember her name either.
But yeah, she was phenomenal. Edward was a phenomenal. Jet, like everybody in Bebop was great. Even like the side characters, it was one of the best dubs I can even think of. Honestly, it was just phenomenal. I loved it.
I think that's the thing with Shinichiro Watanabe's animes. Like, they're perfect. They are meant to be adapted for English dub.
They're very heavily English influenced, with the
Exactly.
space cowboy theme and then like samurai hip hop. Yeah, they definitely have English or Western influences.
I mean, that's the interesting thing about him, where a lot of his stuff is so heavily influenced from Western culture
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the defining things in the early 2000s and kind of the 90s area of anime that just kind of made the connection and just kind of brought everyone on board with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, Cowboy Bebop wasn't that big an anime in Japan, but over here, it's hyped and famed as one of the best things the medium's ever created.
No, Bebop was fairly big. I mean, it had a decent run in Japan. Trigun was like a flop.
Yeah, Trigun was dead in the water.
Yeah, it sold like 10,000 copies or some shit. But yeah, then when it came over here, everybody was like, "Oh my fucking god!" And
In fact, wasn't that the one of John Young Bosch's first VO roles as
oh yeah,
Bash?
Vash Stampede. That was And whew, man, that was another fucking phenomenal dub in general. Everybody in that. That's one of my favorite animes of all time is Trigun. And John Young Bosch killed it. It was, whew, man. Anyways.
Even at the animation quality on that one, it's aged really well, hasn't it?
They both
Yep.
have, honestly. Yeah.
So, Gax, what are you watching?
Oh, let's see. One Piece. Again.
Oh,
Mostly
Still.
One Piece.
For the rest of time.
I will have the rest of time to watch One Piece. It makes too much money. It's not going to end.
Yep.
But what apps are you on for One Piece?
Oh, I'm caught up.
Oh man, you're
I'm
lucky.
completely caught up. And you want to hear the sad, lonely fact? The lonely fact that will accompany the fact that I'm looking at a Robin body pillow right now?
Please stop.
It is the fact that I think I only started watching it about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So I got caught up real quick on that one. Insomnia's a bitch.
Yep, you're lucky because the last time I watched it was 2 years ago when they did a time skip. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a break from that anime. And last week I said, maybe I should watch One Piece. 900 plus episodes.
Well,
Yeah, you got some work to do.
Yeah.
whoo! Nope.
I've been watching that. It's a bunch of news broke that suddenly became irrelevant, and then relevant suddenly again. But I ended up watching, rewatching Gurren Lagann, and I've gotta say, like, the story on that is just so cool and compelling and everything. That animation has not aged very well.
Gurren Lagann?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Maybe the first 7 episodes, but
Yeah.
not the latter parts.
Yeah, that's accurate. I feel like the first 7 episodes or so have some wear and tear on them. I feel like, I don't know, because I'm old, right? I'm like, I'm gonna die like way before you guys do. And so because I'm like so like decrepitly old, that still feels like new animation to me. Like, people are like, oh, Gurren Lagann has not aged well, and I'm like, Gurren Lagann has not aged. What the fuck are you talking about? It's still an infant. But
7 years.
Exactly. That's me. Like, for me, 7 years isn't a long time. But for you guys, I get how it is. So I could see how someone would say that it has aged because, like, the digital era came, like around 2010, 2011, and boom, big ass digital explosion. To me, it's still kind of relatively new animation. For me, old animation is like Lupin and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I said that in the script, that it doesn't feel like that show is as old as it is, because it just feels so fresh and original, even compared to everything that's out on the market, like how much of a big influence it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the animation, and maybe it is just the first 7 episodes, but that's the problem with coming back and watching old shows that you're really, really, really dug, is that you see problems after you start reviewing stuff. You're like,
Right.
I don't want to notice this.
I felt the same way about Dragon Ball Z. Like, Dragon Ball Z I'm from the Toonami age. Like, Toonami was what got me into anime. And
Same.
Dragon Ball Z, I thought Dragon Ball Z was a shit back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I look at it now, it's like, oh man, they wasted 5 episodes for them to scream like they're having diarrhea.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's real bad. Yeah, you're 100% right. It was like, they wanted to stretch out their episodes, make all that money, squeeze every last penny out, hence GT. But yeah, I mean, that was their formula. That was the way that they went about it. That doesn't necessarily mean the animation was bad, but it was definitely stretched out. You know what I mean?
I mean, the animation in that hasn't aged well, but there was a point where I was just audibly angry watching one episode. So all I wanted to watch was one famous scene where Trunks kills Frieza.
Oh.
And I'm just like sitting there. It's like, okay, do it. Stop talking. I just want to see this. I can go. My friends are in the background pissed off because they were just wanted to find something. It's like, no, I have to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there hunched over the TV. It's probably 15 minutes later. We speed up the episode. And then it suddenly goes, next time on Dragon Ball Z. Like, yeah!
Yep.
Are you kidding me with this?
Yeah. I still find it funny that a lot of the characters are named after food, and I thought, oh, that's cute. What I recently found out was the reason why they were named after fruit, like Akira Toriyama was starving when he made money. Manga artists have it rough, man.
Yeah, they totally do. They keep getting screwed.
Oh, yeah. I believe an interview with the guy who wrote Yu Yu Hakusho, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he described his work schedule as 2 days for writing the story, and then the rest of the week is just drawing. Typically about 10 to 12 hours a day.
Seems about right. Yeah, because I mean, like, if you look at a comic book, they come out once a month, like an American comic book, they come out once a month. They have, like, maybe like 30 pages or something like that, and it takes a bunch of different people together. You have your line artist, you have your coloring guy, you have this, you have that. With a manga, they have volumes of manga that are in like the multiple hundreds of pages, and it's ridiculous. They do so much work for just like 1 to 2 people. It's just like retarded. It's so insanely unfair how much pressure is put on them to release a manga, to release a volume every month, every other month, whatever, of just a massive amount of pages that they have to do essentially by themselves. It's unfair.
I think you can say the same thing about most of Japanese animators and voice actors as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if I remember reading somewhere that Japanese voice actors get shit paid, and animators get pressured just as much as manga artists.
Yep.
I mean, what's going on there?
Agreed.
Why are they so stressed out?
Same thing's going on here, man. People want money.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, it's one of the things working with artists and doing commissions and stuff for my channel. I realize just how much work goes into art, into animation, to absolutely everything on it.
Yeah.
And at the pace that Japan puts out anime, it's absolutely insane. I mean, at the quality they do it as well. I mean, compare it to what we're seeing in the US. I mean, popular shows like Steven Universe or Adventure Time or that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Those typically only come out in like 2 large blocks per year. And they're normally about like a 7-episode stretch, and they just basically dump those on the plate with a variety of animation qualities, and they're just not on par with what everything else is, and at least not as high of an investment. I mean, comparatively to what the anime industry in Japan is producing every season on its mark in time, it's kind of mind-blowing. I mean, there's a lot of money going into it, and there's a lot of time and progression, but don't go into animation unless you really love it, because that industry sucks.
Yeah,
You'll
it
kick
really
you in
does.
the balls.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Dai, do you wanna open us up here with our first little news article that we got here?
Oh yeah, let's talk about this one. So I'm not sure how many of you guys love Sword Art Online. But if you love Sword Art Online, you'll be happy to know that Sword Art Online Girls Explore Maid World and new lottery campaign. In other words, they're going to take all the popular Sword Art girls like Asuna, Lise, Asana, I don't fuck.
Like Asuna.
They're all pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
It's true.
But basically, go and get all the Sword Art Online girls, dress them up as maid outfits, make figurines out of them, and sell them.
Because we needed Asuna to be even weaker.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on mark with me on that. I was pissed off because I was a foolish fool and actually enjoyed the first season of Sword Art.
Same here.
Yep.
I got
Not the first season, the first half. The first
the
arc.
first half. I keep forgetting that's a divide into season.
Yep.
But yeah, the first half of the bloody show, so watching and going through it, and I actually got pretty into it. And then the nice big twist in the story is, well, let's go ahead and get them out of the game early, and then let's take the strong female, the second in command of the Legion, trying to get everyone home, and why don't we just stick her in a cage and molest her for a while?
Not even before then. It was like the first episode that you see her in, she comes out of the woodwork like just being a badass. Like, she doesn't know much about the game, but she has natural talent. So she comes out, just like whips out her lady dick and bitch slaps a monster with it. Then Kirito's like, damn, you got some fucking like mad hops and shit. And she's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, fucking friendless me, bitch. And she's like, all right, whatever. So fucking they get cool, and then you don't see her for like a hot minute. Turns out, and at first she was just like the quiet badass type, and I was like, I am down with her. Then all of a sudden, the next time you see her, she has like all this armor on, she's working for the Legionnaire or what the fuck ever, and she's like super tsundere bitch that's like mean as fuck for no reason to Kirito, and like feels like she's owed something by the world. Like, they completely change her character type just to make her a tsundere, and I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck? Then she can't handle herself in a fight, then Kirito needs to keep saving her. Like, she becomes worthless consistently throughout the whole thing. Then at the end, Kirito's like, oh, fucking, if I die, just do me a favor and make sure she can't kill herself. Like, first off, if she's gonna kill herself over a guy that she's known in a video game for a couple months, let the bitch die. Because that is some weak-minded shit. No, fuck that. That is some weak-minded shit. Just kill her ass yourself. If anybody told me, fucking, if you die, I'm gonna kill myself. If somebody told me that after like a month of knowing me, I would put a bullet in their fucking brain for them. And the guy totally goes with it. Then he basically becomes like the second form of that new guy, and then they have a daughter. They have a fucking daughter. Goddamn game.
So, you didn't like that season, did you?
Wasn't my favorite.
Actually, I have the
I'm
same-
genuinely impressed. We found his hot button.
Oh, you think that?
Body pillows, weak female characters.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, just out of curiosity, did you like the second part?
Oh, you mean the rape cage? When she's like, oh, I'm gonna be super powerful and get out of the rape cage all by myself. Then the tentacle monster's like, nope. It fucking slurps her ass back into the rape cage. And then fucking rapey McCreeperface comes out of nowhere. And oh my god, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy in the face with 1,000,000 rakes. That guy deserves to get bitch slapped by a volcano made of dicks. Woo! Nope. That whole, and then Corito's fucking Jesus coon ass comes out of fucking nowhere. Like, fucking, oh, I'm the fucking best fairy in all Fairyland. And fucking somehow beats the motherfucker that's been cheating the whole time with the power of love and shit. Oh, fuck you. They should, if they wanted to redeem this show at all, she should have been the one to kill him. And she should have done it by taking his dick, ripping it off, and shoving it down his throat. But that didn't happen. No, Corito got to kill him. And then he comes out of the game all atrophied and shit, and walking like fucking the goddamn Crypt Creeper through the fucking parking lot. Man, fuck that show. I'm sorry.
Wait, you're forgetting one important thing. You're forgetting one important thing.
This cousin wants to fuck him, this cousin sister wants to fuck him.
There you go.
I believe I've lost control of this podcast.
Every fucking thing with the vagina wants Jesus Coon's dick. It's like, are you serious with this bullshit? Oh my god. Oh.
So anyway, they made maid toys of that.
They sure did.
But like I said, this just proves my. I had a sneak. People keep saying that Sword Art Online is the reason why anime is going down the hill. And I'm like, you're joking. It's not serious. Just seeing crap like this kind of proves the point. I mean, we're looking at the photos of the maid product right now. The second to last picture looks like a fucking body pillow.
Oh,
That's because it is a body pillow.
It's they keep saying it's multi-cloth.
Multi-cloth. Oh, it's essentially it's a towel, essentially. So.
Oh god. Oh man.
Oh no, these are common items. You guys don't get press releases for this crap. I do.
They did their damnedest to make this 17 or 18-year-old girl look like a fucking bully.
If that's a towel...
Is she not attractive enough yet? Let's make her 12. Then they'll want to fuck her.
Wait, that's a towel. Oh my god, I already know what fucking Sword Art Online fans are going to do to that towel.
They're going to wipe their jizz on it.
Yes, exactly.
They're going to fuck that towel.
Yeah. Jesus, I share the same sentiment as Shinto. I only like the first 5 episodes. That's actually 3 episodes of Sword Art Online. Then they change Asuka's character. They get a daughter. Then the second part comes out. And I just grew to hate the anime more and more and more. And just seeing crap like that is only making me hate Sword Art Online more. My hate boner isn't as big as Shinto's, but...
No one's hate boner is as big as Shinto.
But it might get there. It might get there. But this is just fucking anime. Just seeing stuff like that, anime is going downhill. Just seeing stuff like this.
It's been going downhill. Like, I mean, fucking Gainax came out with Ava condoms. Come on. Like, it's Sword Art Online's not the first one to do this stupid shit. Like, everybody has been trying to capitalize on what sells, and what sells is sex and stupidity, it seems. Yep. It's just, back then we had shows like Ava, like Trigun, like Cowboy Bebop, that had substantial worth to them, that had characters that actually developed and retained their development and their individuality as a character, and storylines that developed over time. Like, is these shows like Sword Art Online, like Akame ga Kill, they have no real personality in their characters, and they have chameleon characters. That's the issue here. That's why people think that they're bad. Anime that's become popularized has found something for people to latch onto that's not necessarily good writing, and people who realize that and see through it are calling it out, and they're kind of saying that it's all anime's fault, when really it's a particular few.
Well, you just don't like the format of those shows, which I'm not really going to argue against that one. Akame ga Kill was fairly decent, but it's mostly meant to be bloody, light, action schlock. so that's what it is.
I don't.
That's like going to a Bay movie and getting pissed off that it's a Bay movie.
Well, yeah, I guess. But at the same time, like, it's a little bit different because when you go into a Michael Bay movie, it's like, you know what you're coming out expecting. You know, when I went into Comic Got Kill, I was like, White Fox Studios did this, same guys that did Steins Gate, so I assumed that there was going to be a good, there was going to be good storytelling, there was going to be good character development. It left me incredibly pissed off because I genuinely hate a Comic Got Kill for a lot of reasons I won't get into. It's different because anime isn't like going to a Michael Bay movie. It isn't like going to a Christopher Nolan movie because studios diverge so much. Like A1 Studios has its good stuff and its bad stuff, and so does White Fox Studios, so does Brainsbase, so does every studio out there. Madman Entertainment, they all have their good stuff and their bad stuff. So it's kind of like a divergence of interests.
Madman's a publishing company, but
yeah, okay, fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, it's essentially just going to be those two shows. I mean, you already said that you're not really following too much of what's on the air right now, which, I mean, have you followed up with One Punch Man? Because that's like the heralded god everyone loves at the moment.
Yeah, it's the new Akame ga Kill, which was the new Gurren Lagann, which was the new etc, or saved anime, yeah, whatever, I don't care. I'll watch it eventually.
Yep.
So far, it just seems like a guy that punches people and wins. And again, that's a power fantasy anime, and I'm not about that life. But maybe there's more to it. I don't know.
I've been going on Miami list, and it's developing quite it seemed like it's going to be another one of those anime that's going to be dividing people, like Sword Art Online. Like,
really?
Yeah, I've been reading a couple of the comments on the forums, and a lot of people saying that One Punch Man is overrated. No, One Punch Man is the best anime ever. I think that's just popular anime in general.
Right.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, I enjoyed One Punch Man. I know it has its flaws, but I don't know. It's you don't see Saitama wearing a maid outfit and figurines being sold about him.
Oh, of course not, because they're, they're selling to the penis. When you, like, you know what I mean? When you're selling to the penis, you want to, in terms of, like, your average corporation, you want to have the female characters be, like, subservient. To be like, oh, I'm going to, like, clean for you and, fucking make you food and fuck. And, like, that's pretty much all you want to sell. Whereas with a male character, just being powerful, just being interesting can be sexy to a female. Because there's such a difference in what sexiness is based on gender. But yeah, I mean, that's why you don't see the Saitama.
Yeah, but Saitama's not a sexy character. He's not meant to be marketed. I'm not defending, like, the figures on this, but once again, guys, you don't see press releases for this shit. Like, I get actual emails from the companies advertising stuff like this, so this isn't anything new or anything shocking.
Oh no, I know. I'm not shocked by it by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm more of annoyed by it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh look, it's more of this shit.
It's a shitty add-on for a shitty show.
Completely agreed.
Alright, now that we got our Sword Art Online hate boner gone.
Oh yeah, it's raging. Need a third pant leg. Do this.
Alright, so Studio Ghibli. Studio Ghibli is when Marina was their anime nominee for an Oscar.
Marnie, when Marnie was there. But yeah, I'm down for this. Basically, whenever anime gets recognition, especially in the West, I am down. And I haven't seen this yet, but if it's getting, Oscar fame, the only other thing that did was Spirited Away, right?
Yep.
That was the only one that was nominated from Studio Ghibli that won it.
Okay.
Let's see. Looks like Spirited Away won in 2003. Then it looks like Studio Ghibli's movies were nominated 3 times in between then. And then in 2014, they awarded Hayao Miyazaki with a honorary Oscar, which the studio's gotten some pretty damn good recognition. I mean, it's mostly Hayao who's gotten the recognition, but...
No, I mean, if it's anything like Spirited Away, Ghibli pretty much deserves, a recognition across the board, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. If it is anything like Spirited Away or anything else that was nominated, I'm down to at least watch it, and I'm happy that it was nominated. Will it win? No, it's up against Inside Out, but,
exactly.
I'm glad that it's getting enough recognition to at least, give them the nod.
We'll have to see. I haven't actually seen the movie, and there's actually kind of a bad habit with Ghibli films. If they're not actually directed by Miyazaki, they have a tendency of being a little bit mediocre in comparison to everything else. But like I said, none of us have actually seen this.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. But my main point in bringing this up is just to bring up the fact that why we think it's not going to win. Let's be real here. I know this is an anime podcast, but this is going to diverge a little bit, but the Oscars are rigged, man. Let's face it. It's fucking rigged.
No, they're not. Ask Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, let's ask him who won no Oscars.
Oh shit. Yeah, they're 100% rigged. The older and wider you are, the more power you have in them. It's no, they're 100% rigged. Pixar's gonna win. Inside Out's gonna win.
I mean, I will flip my shit if it wins, but it's obvious that Inside Out's gonna win. I've heard, if you go on Tumblr, people post Inside Out all the fucking time, along with Steven Universe shit, but I won't go into that.
Don't you be talking about my Steven Universe.
Oh, I'm not. I don't want the Steven Universe Tumblr fans to attack me.
That's right. We're scary little bitches.
Oh, yeah.
It's I mean, I haven't watched a single Oscar where I wasn't audibly pissed off at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, there's basically an Oscar bait movie that comes out every year to essentially try and pull in an Oscar. It has all the elements to apply to it.
Yes.
It comes down to the director. It's just, I don't care. If it wins an Oscar, yeah, I might cover it. I'll probably be snarky and announce that once again, I don't care about the Oscars, but...
Right. But I mean, the thing is, in Hollywood, the Oscars are like, the end all be all. Like, you could win all these other different awards. It doesn't matter. If you didn't win an Oscar, you're not Oscar material. Like, that's the phrase. That's what people say, is Oscar material? Is he Oscar material? And it's the big award. So to see Ghibli win it would kind of solidify anime's place in Hollywood, and I feel like maybe with that we'd start to see maybe some new categories open up for anime. That'd be kind of interesting to bring in some actual anime into like, animated series type stuff, or to see more Hollywood movies based around anime that don't suck, or just one that doesn't suck at some point would be great.
Hey, Dragon Ball Evolution was the best movie ever.
You're off the podcast.
I love how instantaneous it was. All right. But yeah, no, I think the more recognition to animation and to the Eastern way of, animating essentially to anime would be better, because we need that. Because America, when you think about anime, if you're not into the culture, if you're not into the otaku culture and the sublife and the subgenre of life and stuff like that, you generally think of anime as cartoons that for some reason adults watch and own tons of toys about and beat off to, like, and there's tentacle rape and stuff. Like, that's anime to the Western world, and it's frustrating because they don't know about Cowboy Bebop, they don't know about Trigun, they don't know about Evangelion, they don't know about Ghost in the Shell and Akira and all these other things that matter, that actually influence shit that they love, like fucking Black Swan and The Matrix. Black Swan was influenced by fucking Perfect Blue, Satoshi Kon, and fucking Matrix was Ghost in the Shell. So I mean, there's all these things that they don't even realize they're being influenced by, that they look down upon simply because it's connected to a word that is seen as lesser, and that is frustrating. And I feel like the more recognition that we start to get on the highest platform possible, the less people will look down on it, and the more these cultures will be able to meld. And a lot of people, I don't like to tell people like in my day-to-day life that I do YouTube reviews of anime. I'm a 29-year-old man. By culture standards, I shouldn't be watching this shit. I should be fucking talking about football and dealing with, my fucking insurance premiums. Like, I shouldn't fucking be, out there watching fucking Gurren Lagann and shit. But I love it, and I'm not gonna back away from that. I just don't openly endorse it everywhere I go, and that's because there is a stigma attached to it. The less stigma attached to it, the better. The more exposure, the less stigma will be attached to it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, here's where I get to disagree with you with the nice little stigma attach. I don't think it's going to necessarily be this year, but we're going to see a huge driving influence coming up in 2017. Frankly, there's been a huge boom in anime as the industry, as the art form, and especially in the Hollywood scene right now. Because we have the Battle Angel movie coming up, and that's being produced by James Cameron. We have Ghost in the Shell that's coming up, that's being, advertised as a big blockbuster hit on that. We have so many different adapted properties coming up. I mean, oh shit, I think it's Fox. Fox bought the rights to make a Beyblade movie. Just think on that. Let that stew.
Let me counter that argument by first off saying a Beyblade movie.
Yeah.
Secondly, the Eva movie's been coming out for at least 10 years. Like, it's been coming out for fucking ever. I remember going to the theater in high school and seeing a poster in the theater for an Evangelion movie that was never made. So, until I see previews of it, until I see previews of ScarJo and the Ghost in the Shell getup, I'm not gonna... until I see, like, her as the Major, I'm not going to at all believe it, because it's been said before, and they've done anime-based movies before. They've done Dragon Ball, they've done Ultraviolet, which is like vaguely anime, and then they've done Last Airbender, which regardless of what anyone says is definitely anime influenced, and it was all bomb after bomb.
Yeah, but those were all shit films.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, is that anime, because you're right, they are shit films, and that's the problem, is it hasn't been handed to a director that knows the material, that's going to make it right. So you can't necessarily say that even if the Evangelion or Ghost in the Shell films do come out, that they're going to be good. Like, that matters. And if they are good, then yes, maybe it will get some of that exposure. But right now in the American culture, anime is totally not respected. Yes, some people might be making anime movies because they realize that there is a subgenre of people that it will like be good for, and that obviously overseas it'll sell really well. But that doesn't mean that it's respected.
Over the past month, how many times have you heard someone in any form of media, I mean, like podcasts, talking to someone, mention something like "Senpai noticed me" or something like that?
Like on SourceFed, that's about it.
On podcasts that have nothing to do with anime, an Irish musician in my favorite podcast, who barely even knows what anime is, referenced that. There's a huge internet cultural influence that's really pulling things in. I mean, the movie is coming up. We have a big name attached, like Scarlett Johansson. I mean, the guy who made the Avatar movie, not the Last Airbender, the one with the naked blue people, is producing a Battle Angel movie. And that's a huge, huge driving factor in this industry right now. I mean, let me share with you some numbers that I just got from Viz Media. Viz Media, the manga production company. Well, manga publishing company.
Right.
So from 2013, manga sales from their company saw a 10.7 increase over the previous year. From 13 to 14, a 14.7 increase. So that's a compound. That's a giant market increase coming from it. I mean, that's fairly solid.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming from 2014 on to 2015, a 34% increase in the market. And this is just domestic American sales.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that it's not garnering traction. It's totally, there is traction being gained in the anime community. What I am saying is that publicly in the national eye, yes, there's a lot of people on the internet that know what this stuff is, but the internet is not the end all and be all. Like, media right now, if you think about it, like the biggest like musicians out there are, your Kanye West, your Drakes, and even Kanye West has taken inspiration from anime. His Harder, Faster, Stronger, the thing he stole from Daft Punk, that music video was Akira. That's what it was. But people don't realize that because, they don't know. And so, I mean, you have the Kim Kardashians, you have the Kanye West, you have Drakes, you have stuff like that. That's not, people who are into that, they far outweigh the anime community.
And once again, I have a counterpoint to jam up your ass. Chris
Stay away
Brown.
from my ass, first off.
Right up your ass.
Did you say Chris Brown?
Chris Brown.
Shut the fuck up.
Chris Brown's a piece of shit.
I don't care.
He's a piece of shit, but we're not even going to debate that. But he ripped off a manga cover from City Hunter.
I know.
Yeah, I saw the video. I saw your video
And then,
on it.
Yeah, that's where
he followed up with another manga cover. And this is becoming a large part of the cultural zeitgeist in the US and a lot of Europe.
But you knew that. I didn't know that until I saw your video. Like, most people don't know that. Most people wouldn't know that. They would just see his album cover and think that's Chris Brown's album cover. That's the problem, is that while these artists know these things, while these artists are into anime and stuff like that, they're not shining a spotlight on anime. They're stealing from it and acting like it's their own, like Kanye did with his Faster, Stronger video, and like Chris Brown did with his album cover. They're stealing from it and calling it their own. The Wachowskis did it with The Matrix. That's the problem, is that people in America are seeing these things and they're like, oh, wow, this person is such a good artist because of this. They don't realize that those things came from anime. Anime has a certain amount of exposure, but it doesn't have respect in American media in the way that the public perceives it. Yes, the artists and the directors, they perceive it as something great and they take from it and they borrow from it and they like praise it or whatever, but that doesn't translate from them to the American public because they're not giving the proper dues to the source material.
I'm actually with Shinto this one. Hell, I think the problem is that we need more artists should come out of the woodwork saying that they're anime fans. Like I remember a couple months ago, I found that Robert Williams was a huge Evangelion fan, even though he never publicly admitted it. I think the best way to bring anime into the mainstream is if you get more public figures to actually admit where their work came from.
You know who I think has done more for anime in terms of media and public relation than anybody else?
Who's that?
John Cena. Legitimately.
You're gonna have to enlighten me.
He's come out as a very public fan of anime, and during many of his wrestling matches wears anime as life shirts and shit like that, which I thought were Photoshop, but are apparently legit. Like, he is a vocal fan of anime even during his wrestling matches, and so is Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's a fan of anime, and both of them, they don't hide it. They talk about it openly, and I think because of that, a lot of people that I know who were into wrestling were like, oh yeah, I got into anime because of John Cena. And that fucking astounds me.
Yep.
So I think, honestly, they've done more for it than even people like Chris Brown or Kanye or the Wachowskis. Because they are vocal and admitting about it and accepting of it.
Yeah.
We have Del Toro, we have James Cameron, we have tons and tons of people that announce anime as their driving art style basis and all kinds of stuff. It's like, I don't know what else you want. There's a big driving influence, and we are kind of seeing a generation that did grow up on Toonami, basically our generation, kind of becoming the older, more prominent thing. So
yeah,
it's part of this cultural zeitgeist. I mean, there's no debating that. I mean,
but it's not a respected part. It's still
you
seen
just
as
got done
lesser.
saying the most popular thing that came out in 2013 was absolute shit. I mean, it's like any form of media. It's going to have its ups and its downs. And frankly, I mean, what do you want? What do you mean by respect in the industry? I mean, do you want like a cultural reverence as people watch Naruto?
No, what I mean is, well, like when you look at the the Oscars and things like that, people like Miyazaki get snubbed. There's never been an anime series that's been mentioned in an award show. That would be insane. Like, you've never seen they do have awards for like the best animated series or whatever, or like things of that nature. You know, I believe The Last Airbenders won awards, things like that. Death Note's never won an award. Death Note's never been nominated for anything. Code Geass never been nominated for anything. Trigun Bebop Evangelion never been nominated for anything. Like, that's a problem. And when the problem that I have is that because so few people either admit to anime being an influence or are vocal enough about it, because of that, anime is still seen in the media, in the public eye, as something like cartoons that adults watch and are losers and are social recluses and are social outcasts. That's how they see us. That's how they've always seen us, and that is a huge problem. If you look at CNN, just 2-3 years ago, they did a big expose on anime and how it's child pornography, and they went to an anime shop where they had a bunch of manga books, and this dude goes, look at this one right here, this is two naked girls, like blah 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 on the cover. And it was like, I don't even remember what the manga was for, but they did they didn't show the cover because it was two naked girls. They had to blur it out, but somebody unblurred it essentially and goes, oh wait, I own that exact fucking volume, and it wasn't two naked girls, it was girls in, yes, short skirts, but they weren't by any means fucking naked. And,
but that's like, CNN. They're not news.
Yeah.
CNN. Okay, I didn't say it was Fox News. I said CNN.
Okay.
I was surprised. I was surprised you didn't say Fox.
Yeah, I know, right? Fox, no, they're their own brand of shit, you know. Fucking.
Actually, they back in the first anime convention that ever came into the U.S., they almost crushed the industry with a news report where they did the exact goddamn thing.
Huh.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I believe it.
No, it's Fox. I mean, they're not news either, but...
Right. Oh, they're less news than anything else, but...
Yeah, we're talking about propaganda machines, essentially.
But that's the thing, is CNN's actually a respected source of news. You have Anderson Cooper and certain people who came from CNN and are on CNN, and it has a certain respectability to it. There is a certain weight that name carries, and there are a lot of people that watch it, and that it really forms the public opinion in the zeitgeist of what anime is, and that is a huge problem. Like I said, if more directors, if more artists came out and said, I am a fan of anime, this thing came from anime, this is an homage to anime, whatever. Hell, Daft Punk, they were huge like 2 years ago. They did that song with Pharrell Williams, and they did their whole Interstellar 555, their whole music video is a big ass anime movie.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, I feel like there is so much that has been influenced from anime and by anime that has formed our culture as Americans and as a Western audience that we don't even realize, and we still put down and shame people who like anime and who are interested in anime, and that is frustrating, and it needs to change. And the whole point is
Who's
that
shaming anyone at this point?
Really?
Well, other than CNN, but, like, let's be frank, their audience is going to die within the next couple of decades, so...
It's still out
real
there, right?
influencers that are actually going to affect something that's actually directed to maybe someone around our age, or something that's actually taken a little bit more seriously.
I think the issue more line stems from Western culture. I think that's the main issue. If a Japanese person saw that and a comic style, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. But if American saw it, he would flip his shit. I think it stems from, it's more of a cultural issue than simply artists mentioning that they like anime. I mean, of course you can say you like anime, but it's another thing to have the right mindset to like anime. I just think that in order for anime to be more widely regarded, the Western audience has to be a lot more open towards it. And I think with this new generation, you're starting to see that with, like you said, the internet. The internet is spreading more and more information about this. But I don't know.
I don't know. I disagree with you guys a bit, because I have my ear to the ground with absolutely everything that is happening in the industry. Like, if there's a heartbeat in any part of the industry, I'm there listening to it. I mean, Ford. I'm pretty sure it's Ford. Ford just launched Dragon Ball car commercials.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, those are Americanized anime. Those are anime that everybody
They're
knows.
not.
Are you Ooh.
Americanized? Those Pokemon is immensely popular in its home country. It just happened to actually work well with us. Same thing with Dragon Ball. No one thought Dragon Ball Z was going to be successful over here. They changed up Goku to try and make him more like Superman.
It's still Americanized. That doesn't mean... I don't think Americanized means what you think it means. Americanized means that it has been accepted into our culture because basically it held values for America. Like, Pokemon was very much the little kid show that, like, blew the fuck up, and the parents were cool with it because there was nothing bad in it, and because it taught about, like, friendship and working together and stuff like that. It was very much an American concept that we took and kind of made our own. Yes, it's popular in Japan. I'm not saying it's not popular in Japan. I'm saying that it was taken by America and accepted so wholeheartedly and distributed so wholeheartedly and became so popular here that is almost an American phenomenon. Same thing with Dragon Ball, same thing with Sailor Moon and a couple of others. There is a very, like Yu-Gi-Oh!, there are a very select few hand-picked choices that have become a part of the American culture. That's not anime as a whole. That is 4 or 5 animes that have come and become something that America can accept, and because that's what we do. America doesn't have a culture, you know that, right? Like, we steal from everybody. That's what we did. That's how we got our fucking land. Like,
not gonna debate that one.
Like,
I
that's
am
what we do.
fully agree with you on that one.
So we went in there and we nitpicked and we go, okay, well, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and we stole things that were anime, yes, and yes, it may have popularity in Japan and other places. That's not the point. We took them and we made them our own. We Americanized them, and now
we fucking didn't.
Yes, we fucking
We had a
did.
lot of edits and stuff like that.
No, you're absolutely wrong. We changed the dub. We took out guns from Pokemon. We took out blood from Dragon Ball Z. We changed fucking dialogue. We changed storylines. We took out anything that we weren't comfortable with. We started producing our own products based on these things. And now Ford is using them for commercials. These other phone services have used Pokemon for commercials. We totally stole and Americanized them. We absolutely did. There's no fucking two ways about it.
Yeah, it basically adapted to make it work with the culture a little bit better. I mean, essentially what I'm hearing from you is shonen and shoujo are popular in the US, which they're popular everywhere else. You know?
You're hearing what you want to hear, because that is nothing like what I said. I mentioned 3 to 4 titles.
Okay.
It's like mommy just hit daddy.
Okay, so now that we got our what's to save anime and culture
well,
out
that
the
went
way,
on for a while.
let's talk about giant mechs. Del Toro is talking about the Pacific Rim 2 sequel, and it's still going. Keyword is still going.
Yes.
I'm just going to say this. This is This is going to go into production hell.
Probably.
It's already
Yeah.
been in production now. It looks like what happened was there was actually a restructuring that happened with the basically the company that was producing it. So it looks like they do want Pacific Rim to go up as one of the major ones. They have it slated for August. This is Del Toro. Del Toro says a lot of things he can't back up.
Right. Yeah, he
I
sure
mean-
does.
Yeah, he does. But I'm going to call it a confirmation because we're looking at, along with this story, we got an announcement that Six Flags, the amusement park, is going to be putting in tie-in rides for Pacific Rim.
Yes.
And that's a huge investment that covers over, well, I guess that one's mostly going to be in California at the moment, but that's a
Right.
huge investment. Why
And
would they
what was
dump
it,
money
Valencia,
into that
or-
unless they're backing the production?
Six Flags is known for their roller coasters. The thing is, this isn't gonna be like that. This is gonna be like Disney's California Adventure. If you've ever been on that ride where it's like there's a big screen in front of you and it sends you over all the mountains and valleys of California and they splash water in your face and it's like a 4D adventure. Like that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like that, but Pacific Rim. It's gonna basically be like super IMAX, which I'm personally down for. But that also means that really the only production they're putting into this is making it work with their screen.
I mean, we're still talking a few $1,000s investing just into getting the footage and everything set up. I mean, it's not a
that's
cheap
nothing
thing.
for them. It's nothing for them.
Yeah. I mean, it could go about two ways. It could be the license is cheap right now, and they bought it up to be able to just kick it out. And the other thing is, it's just a tie-in promotion that they're pushing this really heavily. I mean, timing everything at the same time with that's a little bit suspicion just for what's happening in the background for it.
I agree. I mean, I want to see the second movie. I love Pacific Rim. I've loved mech stories for a very long time. I've never been like a Gundam fan because I'm not like huge on the political thing. But when you're fighting kaiju monsters or when you're in like a competition like Zoid's New Century or even G Gundam, I'm down for that kind of shit. And it's just right up my alley. I don't like the dual cockpit thing, but whatever.
Kaiju, that's a Japanese word, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't it be?
Hmm.
Oh, you're still harping on that other shit that you were wrong about. No, don't worry about that. We're talking about Pacific Rim.
I don't really have any 2 cents to say about the theme park because I'm in fucking Pennsylvania. I can't go to California in a heartbeat right now.
Wait, Shin, you're in California, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
That's
maybe you
correct.
can go there.
I'm going to. There's no two ways about it. I'm going.
Nice. Make sure you send pictures.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, pirated it for us.
Absolutely.
But the thing that I'm mostly concerned about is the sequel because Del Toro doesn't really have a good track. I have yet to see a sequel to a movie to a Del Toro movie.
Hellboy 2.
Oh, well, like just that one. But other than that, I don't know. Recently, he's just been having a string of bad luck. I'm just thinking about going back to the previous conversation about the Fuck Konami collab about how PT got canceled, and that was a big project that he and Kojima was doing, but they got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna wait a couple of months to hear that it's gonna be canceled indefinitely. But maybe it'll be saved because they're getting a lot of money for this. I will admit that. So maybe it'll be saved, maybe it won't be.
This happens. I mean, it happens constantly. Like, to go a little bit away from anime, we had a rumor like 4 or 5 years ago that there's going to be a Teen Titans series on the CW, and that shit went away. Then it was going to be on TNT last year, and then that failed. Like, that's kind of what happens, you know?
Yep.
Things are popular, they gain this traction, then something falls apart in the middle during production, pre-production, they're setting it up, the license falls through, too much time's been wasted, whatever. And, you know, Pacific Rim, it wasn't a huge success. Like, it was a great movie. I love it. A lot of people I know love it. Wasn't successful in box office.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Sadly, no. And that's garbage, because it was really, really fucking good, in my opinion. It was better than, like, Robo-Jocks, or not Robo-Jocks, that Hugh Jackman vehicle where he was, like, boxing robots.
Oh, that piece of shit.
Steel?
I forgot
Red-
about that piece of
What
shit.
was it? Steel something.
Real
Heavy
steel.
Real Steel. Oh.
That shit made more money than Pacific Rim. What
No!
the fuck?
Oh, you kidding me?
Why?
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying is, like, I don't know. People go, if you, like, put your ground to the ear like Gax, or you put your ground to the ear.
Yeah,
Fuck it. That's
do
what
that.
I'm saying now. Put your ground to the ear like Gax over here, and fucking, if you hear about some kind of anime movie, anime-related thing coming out, go support that shit. That way we get another Pacific Rim.
I think he's just mad and he's literally thinking about throwing pavement at my head.
No.
And I'm just here sipping on my tea.
This is exactly why Shinjin's here.
No. Okay, so let's see.
But I think we're all down for Pacific Rim 2, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be the fucking watch it midnight.
Yeah, that's right.
Goddamn right. That was my movie of the year when it came out.
Yeah. I can probably agree with you on that.
I did a collaboration review on that. My entire part was, I know a lot about robots hitting things. This is some good robots hitting things.
It really is. That's her words may have never been spoken. That's 100%. I can agree with you on that one.
Anyone else have anything else on Pacific Rim other than we really want it and we're sad about Del Toro?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay. Shinto, you have something about the King of Fighters movie? No, actually, that was Gax, wasn't it?
That
Yeah.
was Gax.
Here's the big reveal. It might be disheartening for some of you guys, and I want you to accept this. I'm a huge SNK fan. It's out in the ether.
Mhm.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this, but I really like 2D fighting games from the 90s.
Yeah, I know,
Mhm.
right? It's a not popular opinion, I'll tell you that much.
I know.
What-
It's very
Wait,
controversial.
are you a fan of the Guilty Gear games? Actually?
God damn right. It's actually my favorite game
All right,
series.
I
Hell
figured as
yeah! I will fuck everybody up in Guilty Gear. Give me Amelia Rage.
Oh, you're gonna get your ass owned by my Zappa.
We'll see. I'll either, man, my Amelia, my chips enough, I will fuck you up.
Oh, you don't stand a ghost of a chance.
Uh,
You see, that was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, which is popular in the American zeitgeist.
Yeah, because it was stolen by America. It was Americanized.
Goddamn right.
The sad part is that I suck at fighting games. Hell, I barely, like, a couple weeks ago, my Steam group and I, the Die Gaming Brigade, did a Gamer of Nakama event involving Skullgirls. And they kicked my ass all the
I was
way
about
to
to say.
the moon with that game.
Because you booted up Skullgirls, and I was like, hey, are you down for a game? You're like, yeah, and then you suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, it's because I'm still new to Skype. To be honest, I'm not used to using Skype a lot. Hell, I posted a Twitter message a couple weeks ago saying, "Hey, maybe I should leave my Skype open because people are talking to me on Skype now."
Yeah, it's usually a good idea. I usually keep my shit open, but set it to like away or something so I
Yeah.
don't get like constant messages and shit like that.
Yeah, I just unfriend people.
So I'm not too big on 2D fight. I'm getting into 2D fighters. Like, in fact, one of the moderators for the Steam group said, you need to get Guilty Gear. So I have to buy that game this weekend. And hopefully the ass kicking in that game won't be too rough, right?
Honestly,
Oh,
just,
hell no.
Practice with chips enough and Faust and you'll be alright.
Yeah, Faust is
broken as shit.
Faust is like tournament level too.
Yeah.
You just have to
And
learn
who's
a
this
bit.
Bridget that I'm sorry, go ahead.
Bridget,
Yeah.
she's a boy and she has a yo-yo and she's cool. She's not one of the better characters, but she's got a certain popularity because, you know, having been a boy raises a girl and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Plus, she
Okay.
has a dope ability to reposition herself on the field.
That's true.
Hmm.
That's very true.
Plus, yo-yos are badass.
Yep, can't deny that.
Yeah.
So the whole reason we're bringing up Fighters is because King of Fighters is getting an animated adaptation, right?
Yeah, another adaptation, and it's also following up with the game that's coming up in 2016, which
Nice.
everyone has kind of a mixed perception on the game coming up, because SNK used to be the big prominent company in the 90s and a little bit on into the 2000s, and then they basically, no one started playing 2D fighters for the longest time. They made all kinds of bad decisions. I think for a while they were focusing on pachinko. I mean, we know how
Oh, the
great
evil
pachinko's
word.
going over right now. Oh man, and then they had all kinds of flops and stuff like that. They've been mostly focusing on mobile development, which, yeah, everyone has opinions about that. I played
Oh,
all the
yeah.
games. Most of them aren't very good.
And
So-
let me guess, they are filled to the brim with microtransactions.
Goddamn right.
Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, this looks really interesting to me. It's I mean, I've always been a fan of King of Fighters, you know, because I feel like it has a slight, like, no fighting game has a great storyline, let's be honest. But
No.
I've always been a little bit more interested in King of Fighters storyline for whatever reason. Maybe it's because Iori and I have the same hair and sense of style, and we both like to put people's faces onto concrete.
You vain motherfucker.
Oh man, Iori is the business. But I don't know. I like King of Fighters. It's cool. I'm definitely gonna watch it. But the same goes with almost every fighting game adaptation in an anime. They're usually garbage. Aside from Street Fighter 2, the movie, the The one where Vega and Chun-Li fought, and then Vega was like, "You fucked up my face," and she was like, "Shut up, bitch!" and like Juno kicked his ass. Yeah, that was probably the best adaptation of a fighting game to a movie. Aside from that, they're normally garbage. So I
haven't seen that since it was like junior high and Blockbuster Videos existed.
Yeah, That's how I got my copy.
I bet in retrospect it's terrible.
No, it's not bad.
Is
It's
it?
really not that bad, yeah. That one kind of holds up.
You know what doesn't hold up? Any of the SNK movies.
I have not seen them.
They're not good.
I've seen the Tekken ones.
The thing I'm curious about is who's the animation studio that's going to work on this anime. That's my main concern.
Exactly where I was going with that. We don't have a studio announced, so I got nothing. This could be cheaply produced, it could be a tie-in thing, it could be absolute shit, it could be sold with the game to try and tempt people into getting it. We got no information.
Any guess on the animation studio? Because that's my main concern.
I'm reading, franchise previously inspired a 4-episode original net animation from Production IG, which, from what it says right here is that the Chinese game publisher 37 Games is planning an animated adaptation, which, I mean, game studios have done animated adaptations of games before, but
SNK is not big enough to have in-house animation anymore. Actually, they have never had an in-house animation studio in the company's entire history. SNK is really a small company right now.
SNK was bought out, wasn't it?
I guess they might have been bought out. I actually haven't been following that too much. I mean, I know they were making some leeway and starting to make like a little bit of money by basically selling nostalgia to idiots like me over ISO apps, but I got nothing on this. I mean, I hope it's good, like everything, but I mean, this isn't really set up as a very good plan. We just know that it's going to get made, probably, in the future.
A Chinese corporation called 37 Games acquired the majority stake of the Japanese game developer SNK, so they were bought out this year.
Do we have anything that's been published by 37 Games, or are they just a production company or an investment company?
There's no information on this particular article. I'd have to look up some more stuff, so I don't know.
Well, they did say that there was a 4-episode original net animation from Production IG. Maybe they'll contact them again.
Which isn't bad. I think Production IG would probably be a good route.
I think it's going to be out of their price range.
What about Madhouse?
Madhouse, whew.
Too expensive as well?
Yeah, Madhouse is probably more expensive than IG sometimes.
Yeah, I would assume so.
If you want cheap and good, 4 Celsius is your way you want to go. But no. I got nothing.
All right, well, I'm interested in it. I don't have hope for it because, again, there's rarely been a fighting game adaptation, whether it be animated or not. See the Street Fighter movies that have come out. Yes, there are multiple. There's the Rise of Chun-Li. You guys remember that?
Oh, don't remind me.
Exactly. And there was a Tekken movie, and there was some other, what was it? Fist of Fury or what the hell ever, the one with Terry Bogard. Come on. That fucking movie came out. Yeah.
That might be the one I'm thinking of. That was awful.
That shit was so bad. So, Streets of Fury, that's what it is, I think. But anyways, yeah, there's never been a good adaptation aside from that one Street Fighter movie that came out that one time. And, of course, does anybody remember the original Street Fighter movie, the 90s one with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah.
I've watched bits and pieces of it.
It's magical. There's a point where Zangief is sitting with a couple other people in a tent, and a car is barreling towards them.
Oh, I remember this.
And they can see it in a monitor inside the tent. They see that a car is coming towards the tent that they are currently in. And Zangief, fearing for his life and the life of his compatriots because a car is barreling towards their tent, thinking that this is how to stop it, screams, "Quick! Change the channel!" That is the most magical moment in cinema.
Indeed.
It is the best stupid movie.
I fucking adore that for that part. And for fucking Raul Julia, just the fact that he's in it, and I love him dearly. Fucking rest in peace and all that goodness.
Yeah. There's so many terrible lines. Die. This might be the worst podcast you've ever been on. But for me, it was just a Tuesday.
Oh, God. That was actually a good line. For
It
a
was.
different movie.
If it was in any other movie, it would have been brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. Any movie would have been fine, but God, it was bad. All right, so I think that's where we're gonna end this with that line. That's where I feel comfortable ending it. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm completely okay with that. I've got a lot of yelling to edit. Okay, it's probably a good time to plug our channels. Die, why don't you plug one of your videos where they can go see some funny stuff to relieve them from the pressure of this horrible podcast?
Okay, so depending on when this podcast will be released, I will upload a new video game parody called Captain Falcon's New Girlfriend, in which the basic premise is Captain Falcon is in a bar talking to his friends about how he's staying Lucina. I won't spoil the joke. But the punchline, just stick around for the punchline. I swear, guys, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be huge. And then this Saturday, I'll be live streaming Hyperdimension and Neptuna Rebirth 1. I somehow beat the first major boss in the game by the skin of my teeth. And then Sunday, I'll be streaming more of my SFM animations for the Benjamin versus Deadman fight. I swear to God, the purpose of that animation is to make you say, it's just like my Japanese anime. So that's pretty much it for me. What about you, Shinto?
Oh, well, like I said before, I have my Steins Gate review coming. Probably not going to be up by the time this is up, but the bloopers for my Ergo Proxy review have gone up today, which have gotten some decent reception. People think that it's funny when I hate myself. And, yeah, I mean, you can go watch any of my reviews, Ergo Proxy, Gurren Lagann, Origami. For days I got reviews, and some of my new content should be coming up, and you can check me out, of course, on the Freezax podcast over on his channel, or I'm going to be streaming soon, hopefully collaboratively, with some co-op and versus games. So you can go over down to twitch.tv/Shintougenesis and check me out there. What about you, Gax? What's coming up over here?
Nothing compared to all that bloody crap. See, this is the worst part about actually being friends with you guys, is you tell me all about your production schedules and stuff. Like, Dai has told me he actually has, like, a chart coming up, and every time I log into Steam, I see him in the Movie Maker program building crap for his show. I'm like,
Yeah, like I said, I try working on my content 2 months ahead of time.
Smart.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it.
It's almost like you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it, dude. Animating must be way harder than, like, what I put together. It's fucking ridiculous, which is why you need to go to this man's channel and show him some love, because he works hard as fuck, and his shit is hilarious.
Thanks, I really do appreciate that.
No, legitimately.
Yeah.
After I saw your Sonic porn video,
Yep.
that was the moment that I knew that I have to
We
have
need
this
this
man
man.
on my podcast. There is no one that I will accept other than Dai.
Thanks.
Be on.
So for that, you're welcome, Dai, and I sincerely mean that.
Thanks, I truly appreciate that. And I'm just going to keep doing my best, and hopefully you guys will keep doing your best as well.
Damn right. It sounds like an anime. Let's all do our best, guys.
Yeah! I turn in about 40% of that, let's be honest. So,
Nah, your stuff's good.
Yeah, it's still pretty good, man. I mean, I love it when you shit on Gainax because fuck Gainax. I'm still fucking pissed off about the whole pachinko machine. God damn it. Why does every fucking Japanese game company, animation company, want to make a fucking pachinko machine? Why?
Because there's money in it.
money.
Fuck money! Why do you have to turn my fucking favorite anime all the time into a fucking pachinko machine? Why did you decide to shove a pachinko machine up Kojima's ass for Silent Hills?
Oh, God.
I'm like, what the fuck?
You're going to be stuck on that one for a while, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking salty about it. But anyway, back to the subject. Yeah, I like it when you shit on Gainax because they deserve it.
I have nothing to say to that. Anyway, you're already on my channel. Click around. There'll be a new video coming up, and I haven't been producing as much content this month because I just hired an animator, and I'm doing all kinds of upgrades to the channel. So you guys get to wait around, sitting on your hands for my vanity. So have fun
Nice.
with that. Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right, have a nice day, guys, or night, wherever you guys at.
Okay, let's call that a wrap. Oh, there's so much editing to do.